Almost everywhere you look in the city of Grass Valley, modern life mingles with reminders of the gold rush. Rusty relics of once thriving gold mines give silent testimony to the rich history this city was built upon.
49ers came in and began with hand tools working the streams.
Gage McKinney is a historian and award-winning author.
Everything was in such a rush forward.
His family roots in Nevada County go back 5 generations. 3 generations of those relatives worked at the Idaho Maryland mine in Grass Valley, originally called the Eureka Mine.
Discovered about 1853.
McKinney explains miners found gold within an outcropping of quartz at the original mine site. From there, they started digging, following that vein of quartz like a treasure map into the earth.
Down for 30 feet originally, 100 feet eventually, and it made men rich.
McKinney wrote a book about one of those men.
And his name was Errol McBoyle. He grew up in Oakland, and he just fell in love with this place.
McBoyle, a well-educated mining engineer, purchased the Idaho Maryland mine during a time when it was struggling in the 1920s. He dramatically turned its fortunes around.
Because at Christmas 1927, his miners underground made contact with the Dorsey vein in the Idaho Maryland mine, which is the richest vein.
Under Errol McBoyle's ownership, the mine had some of its most profitable years. And as a result, so did Nevada County.
There was a tremendous boom, and what people said about this county in the 1930s, there was no depression here.
Production at the Idaho Maryland mine peaked around 1940 and 41. It was the richest gold mine in California and the second highest producing gold mine in the country.
Well, then World War II came along and America had to shift its economy.
And in that shift, McKinney says the federal government decided gold was non-essential.
They really wanted the gold miners to go back to copper mining. That's what America needed.
As the war ended, the price of gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Inflation was on the rise, the mine had fallen into disrepair, and it was simply no longer a profitable venture.
And so in 1956, the gold mines here closed in Grass Valley.
In its nearly 100 years of operation, the Idaho Maryland mine produced 2.4 million ounces of gold. That is 75 tons of high-grade gold, and some people believe there is more than that still down there.
This mine is a big deal.
Ben Mossman is one of those believers.
There's very few deposits like this in the world.
He's the chief executive officer of Rise Gold, a company that bought the mine in 2017. They did some exploratory drilling and hit what the old-time miners would call pay dirt, high-grade gold embedded in the quartz.
With our very first hole, we hit very good values. So it has a lot of potential. A lot of work still needs to be done to prove up that potential.
A large concrete silo is the only structure still standing from the days when the mine was active. The shaft is sealed and covered by a steel plate. To reopen it and send workers underground, Rise Gold needs approval from the Nevada County Board of Supervisors. A final decision could come by the end of this year. In the meantime, the company was able to send a camera deep down the mine shaft.
Having this shaft that's still in good condition is a major part of why you can reopen the mine.
The rectangular passageway goes underground more than a half mile into the earth.
These would be from World War II era.
At Rise Gold's Grass Valley office, Mossman showed us maps acquired from the mine's previous owners, revealing nearly 100 miles of tunnel.
As you can see, they've driven this tunnel along the veins, and the red hatching is where they have quartz veining.
From the information on the old maps, the company was able to create 3D computer models. Still, reopening this mine is a tall order. Groundwater has crept in over the years and it now fills most of the mine. Rise Gold would have to build a water treatment plant, pump all the water out, purify it, and release it into a nearby creek. Mossman says that whole process would take about a year. And it's one of many measures the company would have to undertake to make the mine compliant with the California Environmental Quality Act. Surveys commissioned by Risegold show strong community support for reopening, but the project also has many opponents who say mining is our past, not our future. They've organized an effort called Mine Watch. You see their signs around Grass Valley reading, "Protect our air, water, quality of life, no mine." A recently released draft environmental impact report on the project is more than 1,000 pages thick. Risegold found the report favorable. Mossman says today's technology provides for cleaner, quieter gold mining.
Regulations that are required by the state and the county are very stringent.
A public comment period is open through April 4th.
And now in this phase, with the public participation, they can look through that report. If they think there's something that was missed or should be studied more, they can bring that up to the county government, and the county government will have to consider all of that information before they issue the final report. So it's a very robust process, it's a scientific process, and it's based on very stringent requirements of the state of California.
Back at the Searles Historic Library in Nevada City, McKinney does not wish to offer his opinion about the future of the mine. He's focused on the kind of treasures that cannot be bought or sold.
History is the story that helps people to be rooted where they are and to feel that they belong. And what I want is for us all to continue to feel that this is our home and this is the place where we belong.
The historian offering nuggets of wisdom in a community remembering its past and pondering its future, the potential of a 21st century gold rush. In Grass Valley, Dennis Shanahan, Fox 40 News.